In the world of luxury SUVs, there's quite a bit to choose from, but the Range Rover is definitely one of the main picks. This is the 2024 Range Rover long wheelbase Autobiography. And it's, well, kind of weird to say, but this is actually the mid trim. There is a step up above this. There's the SV. My name is Jimmy, and welcome to one of the most prestigious SUVs on the market. From the outside, it's still a Range Rover. You get all the boxy pieces that you expect. I love this curve here, just on the shoulder. It makes for a very elegant curve. Out back, I love these taillights. They integrate very nicely with the body itself. And when it's off, it basically looks like it's hidden. I love it. It's a very elegant shape overall. It doesn't stand out, but you know it's special with the bits and pieces that it has. Opening the trunk, we get 8.7 cubic feet behind the third row. Electronically fold that third row down, and that expands to 43.1. Being a traditional Range Rover, it does have the split opening rear tailgate. Love this design. You can sit here and relax. In fact, Range Rover makes an accessory just to take it up another notch. Climbing into the third row, it's not difficult. You just have to wait for the second row seats to electronically fold forward first, and then you're able to slide in the third row. Headroom and legroom is limited, I would say. It's definitely not as big as an Escalade or a Navigator, but it's all right for shorter trips, even for my height at 5'11". Moving up a row, the second row is very spacious. Headroom, legroom, of course, we don't have any issues here. As this is the 7-passenger unit, we do get a bench here in the second row, which I personally like, as it's just, well, it's more family friendly. If you're thinking about carrying kiddos in here, well, I am a child passenger safety technician, and well, I do want to show you exactly how child seats fit. On the driver's side, this is the Kleck leg infant seat. As you can see, while it does fit within the vehicle itself, I did have to move the driver's seat forward due to the rear seat entertainment screen. Here's myself at 5'11", sitting in the driver's seat. On the passenger side, this is the Kleck fifth in rear facing. Similar to the Ling, I had to move the passenger seat forward. While I do have enough space, it's certainly less than ideal. Since the Range Rover is quite wide, I was able to place a third seat within the center, so if you have 3 little ones, a bench would be a great option. As for the third row, here's a Kleck Uber, a high back booster. That fit with no issues. However, an infant carrier like this Kleck Ling does not fit with the middle row moved back. Moving it forward does create just enough space, but it is quite tight. As for the front seats here, they're heated, they're cooled, and they have massaging. And it's a good massaging seat as well, as you would expect from a Range Rover. The leather is nice and soft, and you got the dedicated Range Rover armrest as well. That leather expands to your steering wheel, and that is absolutely beautiful. You got your touch buttons on the side, but you do have to click them as well. I do like that. Got some paddle shifters on the back and a very nice 13.7-inch cluster behind that. There's a bunch of customization you can do. There's different layouts. It's very, very nice, along with, well, the heads-up display. The main infotainment screen is a 13.1-inch unit. Because it is the latest JLR implementation here, it does have wireless CarPlay, which is great. It's what I've been mostly using. I haven't had any issues with it. Within the JLR menus, though, they are a little bit slower and laggy. From time to time, it just takes a second to react. So it may be an optimization thing. It may be just, well, the processor is a little bit slower. I'm not too sure. But what I can say is, overall, it's not bad, but there's a bunch of menus, and it can get confusing if you're, well, really diving into the system as well. Because, well, they removed all the buttons. Previously, below you would have your climate control. There's nothing there. It's just a blank wooden panel. And, well, there's actually not a lot of buttons in here in general. And most of those controls are just moved right into that screen. And because of that, there's just a lot of menus to go through. So yeah, it can get a little confusing. Overall, I mean, this interior is absolutely gorgeous. The leather, the soft touch materials, it's absolutely everywhere. I mean, the only real plastic part is, well, right here, the Meridian speaker grill, and that's really it. Sadly, that's just like right in eyeline. I mean, even the headliner is leather. Why is that plastic? In any case, let's move on to the powertrain. This is a P530, which means it gets a 4.4 liter twin turbo V8. It makes 523 horsepower and 550 pound-feet. I do have to admit, I've actually been enjoying myself quite a bit in this Range Rover. It's super soft, it's super plush. It's exactly what you want in a luxury vehicle. Because, well, why wouldn't you want a soft and cushy ride? But it's so soft and cushy where on the highway, when you're going around a corner a little bit quicker than you should be, things just lean a little bit too much and makes for quite a floaty experience, even in dynamic mode. Here in Vancouver, there's this highway, it's called the Sea to Sky Highway. It just basically traces the outline of BC here on the western side. And it's a beautiful highway. There's a lot of curves, and I was driving up that, and yeah, the Range Rover, while it was definitely capable of doing so, it just didn't feel all that confident. I guess that's why they have the Range Rover Sport. So if you want to have, well, a little bit more fun, you can get that. What I will say is this long wheelbase in conjunction with, well, the four-wheel steering, this is super maneuverable. In parking lots, don't even think it's that long. It feels so tight. It feels like a compact vehicle would, because of, well, just the turning radius. It does kind of weird you out a little bit when you're driving it at first, just because when the rear wheels do steer, the back end kind of goes out and it's a little bit odd. So if you're not used to a vehicle with rear wheel steering, this is going to be, well, it'll just take a little bit of time to get used to. But once you do, oh, absolutely, just perfect maneuverability. Being the go-to luxury vehicle these days, I mean, most people are not jumping into an S-Class or a 7 Series. Something like this, or the Mercedes Maybach. Well, that's what people are kind of gravitating towards, because everyone wants an SUV these days, right? It is that elevated experience that Range Rover owners are looking for. I mean, overall, what else are you going to get at this price range? At 202,000 Canadian dollars, it's, yeah, let's be honest, not the cheapest thing in the world, but it is that elevated experience, right? This is a Range Rover after all. You are getting that prestigious name badge. You are getting leather everywhere. You are getting that luxury feel. And for some, that makes that difference. Just having the joy of experiencing this for the past week, it's been amazing. I've driven like the P440e last year. Great. Nothing wrong with that. But this has a V8. And V8, well, it just makes everything better. Especially when it's supplied by BMW. Shh. Such an enjoyable driving experience. You just don't know what speeds you're going at. In any case, thank you so much for coming along with me and enjoying this Range Rover. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section down below and I'll be sure to get back to you. Take care.